Hey everyone, I just want to take a quick second and show you the new myUMBC beta, which we just put out yesterday afternoon. I figured it'd be easier to do a video and show you what it is we want you to be looking at over the next few days. So this is the beta website, and the address is beta.my.umbc.edu. So if you go there, this is the homepage you get. This is sort of a little welcome screen. We're sort of saying, you know, thanks for coming. Here's what's sort of new. On the right-hand side, we have some important things about the beta, just reminding people that the data may be wiped out overnight if we decide to make a database wipe or something like that, and try to nudge people to send us their feedback. Across the top of the screen, you'll see this black bar. We have a link going back to the normal myUMBC, a link to this beta info page, a link to the spotlight screen, as well as a link to the content admin screen. Now, only people who are myUMBC content administrators will see the content admin link. To the right-hand side of the black bar, we have a link to your role settings, which lets you change if you're looking at the undergraduate view or the student view, similar to the way roles work now. We have a link to your name, so you know who you're logged in as, and a logout link. So I'm going to start off by looking at the Spotlights interface. On Spotlights, you see on the left-hand side, you see all the spotlights that are running. On the right-hand side, you see the option to submit a spotlight, as well as spotlights you've submitted. So since I submitted the one that's currently running, under your submissions, it shows that spotlight. I'm going to go ahead and submit a spotlight. So I get the Submit a Spotlight form, where it asks you basic info like the title, tagline, description. One thing we added recently was that as you type, so I'm saying new spotlight for the screencast, you'll notice that below the text is the number of characters I have left, so to sort of remind people that when they're running out of room. This is a tagline for my demo spotlight. I go into the description field. You have 200 characters. This is stuff that I want to say without running out of room. So a website if you want. And something new in this version of Spotlights is the attachment feature. So I'm going to choose a file. I'm just going to upload one of these funny pictures we made of our students. So I'll choose that thing and hit Upload Attachment, and it will load the attachment. Now you'll see what attachment it is. You see it's a JPEG image. It's 30K. I can choose to remove this attachment if I don't want it anymore. And then I'm asked to choose what the attachment type is. And so this is what will actually show up on the button for the Spotlight, just to sort of describe it. We've got a few options. In this case, since it's an image, I'm going to choose Photo. Next, you can choose the runtime for your Spotlight, and what's new here is that you can choose any runtime you want. We don't limit it. The big differentiation is we order Spotlights based on when they end, so we want to recommend to people that they don't create Spotlights that run for 6 months or something at a time, rather than create smaller segments, so it's more likely they'll be shown, and the text here sort of indicates that. So for the start date, if I click in this field, a little date picker pops up. I can choose a start date, so I'm going to have to start running on the 27th, which is in the past, but we don't care. You'll notice the date picker only lets you choose up to 7 days in the past, so people don't go crazy and start running Spotlights, years in the past. If I go to the ends field, another date picker comes up, and I'm going to choose to run this through August 31st. The next is sort of the big one. One of the big things we changed with Spotlights this year was making it so that you can pick one day in which your Spotlight is guaranteed to be shown for your target audience. This is sort of to cut down on the confusion of why isn't my Spotlight showing when we have like 30 some running in the system. So what I do here to check a featured date, I will check, let's say, all audiences, and then I will pick a day that I want it to be featured. I want it to be featured on August 10th, that Monday, and I will click Check Availability. And what will happen, the system will come back, and I get this big green bar that says Monday, August 10th, 2009 is available. Now, there are no Spotlights in the system, so I can't demo what it's going to look like when it's full, but I will describe it to you, hopefully. What you will see instead of the green bar, if your day is not available, you will get two big boxes. You will get a red box that says that this featured date is unavailable for the following roles, and it will list the roles that you have checked that the featured date you've picked is not available. Pretty self-explanatory. You will also get a green box. The green box will suggest days within 2 or 3 days of the featured date you chose that are available for the roles you picked. And if there are no days available, it'll say there are no days available for your selected roles. So to help people pick a better featured date. So The last thing as part of the spotlights is our new thumbnail selection screen. So I'm going to go to the thumbnail section and choose Set Thumbnail. You have two options for thumbnails. You can upload your own image, or you can choose a stock image. The stock images are temporarily unavailable as we try and collect some photos we want to use for that. But for uploading an image, I'm going to choose a file. I'm actually going to go to my desktop pictures. I have a bunch of crazy pictures in here, and I am going to pick Space Doggy, favorite photo of mine, and I'm going to upload the image. So you can upload photos that are about 2 megabytes in size. We sort of recommend larger the better, so you have something to crop out. Now I'm on step 2 of creating my thumbnail, where I actually get to pick part of this image to use. I really don't need all this background stuff in my spotlight. I want to keep it sort of lean and tight, so I can use my mouse to select part of the image to use, drag the box around to select just the right part. I find thumbnails tend to look better if you crop them off a little bit in the middle of something else. And now I have two options here. Now, if I uploaded a relatively small image, like a logo or something, I may want to use the entire image. That way I wouldn't have to worry about cropping anything. But since I have cropped out a section, I don't want to use the entire thing, I will say Use Selected Area. So I'll click that button, give myUMBC just a few seconds to churn, because processing images is sort of time intensive, and there you see the thumbnail I cropped out. Now everything looks sort of fine to me, so I'm going to go ahead and submit my request. Here I get a chance to verify my spotlight, sort of seeing what it will look like when we actually show. You see the new spotlight for the screencast, there's your tagline, your description text. I have a link to go to the website I specified, a link to download the photo. I'm going to go ahead and just click that real quick, and you can see that the photo downloads by itself. I get to just sort of review some basic details. It's a runtime of about 1 month, and the days that it's running, the day it's featured, and the audiences I've picked. Everything looks good here, so I'm going to go ahead and submit the request. I get it taken back to the Spotlight's main page with a green bar saying my Spotlight has been submitted. You'll notice now on the right-hand side under Your Submissions, there is a link for New Spotlight for the screencast. You'll see underneath the Spotlight for the screencast, the day it was chosen to be featured, August 10th. It's going to run from July 27th to August 31st. And under Approvals, you see the first 0 is green, which means there's 0 approved roles, audiences, red for 0 denied audiences, and 11 pending audiences. What I'm going to do is going to click on that spotlight under my submissions, and I get sort of a summary of what's going on. So I can see my spotlight content again. Now here are the approval details. You can see all the roles that I had checked, what their current status is, if there have been any notes left, which is something sort of new. And I also get a link to email, a special email box we're going to be setting up in the near future for each role, so that people can ask, well, why was my spotlight denied or accepted? Under additional options, I can choose to cancel my request, which will just delete the spotlight. No one will ever see it. I also get the chance to copy the spotlight. This is often requested, so I've created a spotlight in the past. I want to go in and make a copy of it. So if I just choose copy, give it a few seconds to recreate all the thumbnails, and it will come back with a form to edit the spotlight eventually. And all the